So this is the E90 build.
E92, don't say
E92, sorry. E90s are way better looking, sorry.
E90s are better?
4-door.
Oh, buy that one.
I don't want to buy an E90.
Hey.
I'm good. Maybe.
Wide body.
Maybe put
cage.
S85 in it.
See, there you go. Sold him a car. He said it on camera, so it's sold. You're good.
Nah, no shake, no buy.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so I've seen this car, but last time I saw it, all the panels were off of it, and I feel like
First impression.
There wasn't very much done to it. It looks sick.
Looks sick.
I like it.
Sleek, low.
I don't
not
like these
overly
cars.
aggressive.
To be honest with you, like, to me, the chassis, especially in the beginning before they started really heavily modifying the rear subframe, they were just kind of lackluster to drive. They had too much side bite, not enough forward bite. But I think with all the developments, they've actually been really, really good recently.
Yeah.
This looks sick because it's so nice and clean.
Yeah, I wanted to make it without all the bolt-on body kits. They usually make them look square on a car that's so long with the nose like this. It kind of reminds me like of a S15 with the long nose. But it's like, in a way, the hardest thing was to pick a body kit for this thing. So that took the long.
What kit is this?
The outside of it is the Big Duck Club kit.
Okay.
So I saw first thing Big Duck Club posted, I'm like, I want that kit. Like Olsen's car. I was like, wow, that black E92 low hot boy wheels. I was like, wow.
Yeah, when I saw that, when it was maybe 2 years ago or a year ago, I saw him pull out the trailer. His car didn't have graphics yet.
Nothing.
It was just blank, and I'm like, damn, that looks sick.
That's when he posted it, I posted underneath, I want that kit first, but obviously he was already in the process. He even joked underneath like, hey, I'm already doing it, so you're a sucker, you're gonna be later.
You're out.
So we got the kit, and I was like, okay, now we got something going on. I ended up picking this car from Marco. He was building this car back in the day when we were still in Fort Myers. He decided not to do it, I had a Lexus IS 300, traded him for this car. So long story short, 2 years in the making. In the last 6 months, we put all the efforts into making it like the sickest that we can make it without going like over the top. So I didn't want to put a quick change. I did not want to make a remount radiator in this and make the same mistakes we did with that. But I wanted something different. So what's different to me? DCT.
Yeah.
I've been seeing the dudes in Europe shred with the DCT
let's
cars.
Look at the motor first.
Like let's look at that. Then we're gonna move into that. Bam.
Sick.
So motor again.
Front rad.
Big boy though.
Yeah.
So this one has a much bigger radiator.
You got a little bit lighter of a rad support on this
thinner,
car.
But still steel. I don't know. I just feel like I need something there in case I crash to not like have the entire motor pushed back. So
for sure.
It saved me in the past, and I think like we just want to do something that can hold the intercooler, hold the radiator in place, and just make it nice in the front, you know.
So is this another NA motor?
Another NA.
Okay.
That's me, baby.
Well,
you need an NA, call me.
Artec manifold, which I feel like probably spools this turbo really quickly.
Super fast.
Yeah.
The graph on this car is just like straight shot.
Sweet.
It's amazing.
Where does it start? Like, where does it make peak boost?
Like, it's already peaking like 3,000 something. This thing is already like ripping.
Nice.
And you'll feel it once he drives it. You'll be. It's actually only tuned to wastegate right now, so it's making about 417.
Okay.
So they had an issue on the dyno with the solenoid not working, so they just like Lee took it out, left it on the wastegate, which I think it's a 14-pound wastegate, and left it alone. And it feels like it has 700, 800.
So this is another 770 turbo?
No, this here, yes, it is another same exact thing.
Okay, cool.
So I like
different manifold.
Different manifold, obviously Artec cast manifolds.
Yep.
Just had a ceramic coated to keep the heat out of the engine bay. But these have been proven like with a lot of the different builds that we're doing between SR, JZ, RB, all the stuff that we're doing to really keep up the boost rolling on these without any lag whatsoever.
Yeah, the cast short runner manifold is the ticket for most drift cars. I mean, until you're really trying to make the last 50 or 100 horsepower like way up top, like this is the best way. That's why all of my cars have always pretty much had short runner cast manifolds.
And look at how much room you have in the engine bay.
And the serviceability, and it's never going to crack. It's never going to have any problems like that. It's nice. The placement's good. You have good room here. Although these strut towers are pretty wide on
Pretty
these
wide
cars.
on these cars.
So
I
the
was
serviceability
surprised.
is
Yeah.
nice. I like the intercooler mounting too. Short throttle.
Big
or short
Treadstone
intake
boy.
winding.
Yep.
Yep, that is huge. 4-inch core.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gnarly. I like this little manifold thing you got here too.
Everyone does.
Yeah, it's cool.
Everyone that sees this, it was just like a last minute thing that Chris and Cricket put together, and like they're like, hey, everyone that opens the thing, it's like, no, forget all this. They're like, where'd you get this?
Yeah, it's cool.
So we're gonna make that part.
Yeah,
we made
it's
it
cool.
here, but now we're definitely gonna make it.
It looks good. All the fittings and plumbing and everything looks really nice too. It's ran really well. Your
All
coolant
PTFE.
bleeder here.
New, all like, just wanted to run PTFE just for security purposes. No
Yeah.
bursted lines or anything like that. Just could take a higher pressure.
Yeah. So Wisefab front with BCs.
Yeah.
Oh, you got digressives in the front. Nice.
No two-way because I don't know how to adjust them.
The
I had to
two-way
get
is
him
for the-
every single time.
I tell people all the time the two-way is for the last bit, and like I don't think any new car should ever be built with two-ways. I think you need to drive it on singles, get what you want, figure out your spring rates, the car dialed, then put two-ways because you're not losing a lot with a single way, a one-way adjustable. The two-way just gives you adjustment of like how quickly it happens. That's really the only difference. So for me, like singles all the way. Like even on all my personal cars, they're all singles because they're easy, cheap, fast to replace, no recharging, no bullshit. They're just easy to
Or
use.
pay you a fee to tell them how to set it up.
Right.
That's the way.
Yeah, well, that right. But
Yeah.
the thing is like then your coilovers cost way more money in the end run. So
true.
to me, like it's all about just getting it dialed, and then like once you get this car comfy dialed, you're super happy with it. The power's turned up. Like in a year, you're like, okay, we sorted everything. Then it might be like, okay, let's go to two-ways.
Yeah. Yeah, only if it's like a full true comp car, which is this car probably will never be. Like we'll leave it to that, and this thing would just be like a Hyperfest, Grid Life, comp here and there, but I don't think it's ever gonna be like this is the comp car, you know.
So still mechanical water pump for your front
Mechanical
rad.
water pump. Still
What pump is this?
just a regular Toyota OEM
Okay.
pump
Copy.
with a bracket in it.
And a cooler.
Yeah, the biggest thing with these pumps is that they flex. Like, so
Yep.
if they flex, they break the year on the block, then it's a pain in the ass. And once you weld it back, it'll never be 100%. Because the one little bit that
It's
this is
done.
off, like your belt will continuously be popping off. So that's like, if you brace it before you actually start running the motor, you're good. If you don't, might as well go with a KRC or one of the rad-in setups and stuff like that.
What's the like goal for this power wise?
700, I would say, in a six. Whatever the axles and diff can take.
And this is E90
E90
non-M.
It is non-M, exactly. So it's a
Is that a
335.
Okay, so still 188 diff then.
Yes.
Okay, so small diff.
Small diff, nothing crazy. They say the E92 M3 diffs are garbage. So like this diff is actually stronger,
And you just
could
weld
do
it?
just weld it. That's it.
Interesting.
Jordan actually runs the same axles on his car as well, and his car is
Interesting.
making 600-700 with the B58 in it.
Hood strap up, dude. In case you forget to pin
Right?
your hood.
Gotta
What
put
do you?
it.
Safety first, bro.
The shocks will probably get it before, or the hood will probably snap in half.
As someone who speaks from experience, this little nub right here just snaps right off
Yeah.
and the hood smashes. But
Let's
you know
talk
what?
about hood
Yo,
shocks, bro.
you know
Why
what
don't
we gotta-
more people run hood shocks?
You don't gotta worry about blowing your windshield out, dude, because you ain't got one.
This is
Dude,
all the air conditioning.
He's driven this already with no windshield. That's
It makes
cool.
the car feel so fast.
Dude.
That's
Yeah.
no way to
Oh,
say
yeah.
it.
It probably does. You're right. You're right. Okay, so DCT.
DCT.
What
First,
gearbox
steal
is it?
Look at that fresh steal it.
Oh yeah, the steal it
Look.
stuff is really good. I steal it everything.
We would do it at every single car because this car
So
could be
good.
touched up a bunch of times and
So
be like
good. Damn baller.
HGK. You gotta show what you sell. So if we sell it, we
That's
gotta
his-
display it.
That's his excuse
We gotta
to spend
display
money,
it.
dude. That's it. Well, I gotta put this bougie shit on my car, otherwise no one else gets to see it. I gotta sell it somehow. That
See,
is
he
sick.
says we use too much metal, so now that I'm in carbon
good.
fiber, he's complaining.
But then you
that
get this piece. Where's that? No carbon fiber.
This is Cricket and Chris's creation.
So
right
it's
here.
perfect. You have this, so you can take off and get a mold done for carbon.
True, true. There you go.
Okay, so DCT.
Yep.
What transmission is it actually?
E92 M3 DCT.
Okay, so you have an adapter plate.
We have a JZ PMC adapter plate that mounts the E92 M3 transmission to the JZ.
Okay.
Works with all the DCTs.
And what clutch does it have?
The clutch in it is just a clutch that OEM stock, bucket stock.
Got it.
So nothing crazy.
It's dual clutch.
Dual clutch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So DCT shifter. That's
DCT
is
shifter.
that the company that
seems legit. Like they've been working on these for a little while. Like they work with HTG on the tuning side, on the controller side, on the shifters and stuff. So even though this is the first like full drift car in the United States, probably like that I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, internet.
Oh, they'll let you know.
I
They're gonna
think
be
this
like,
is the first
some dude that
full-purpose drift car in the U.S.
Okay.
Obviously, it's been done in Europe for a few years now, but they sourced all the parts. We're gonna sell the controllers and everything else like that, and we're gonna work hand in hand with them and getting the people set up because they do all the electronics. They've been making cool oil coolers and other stuff for this setup. So it has a huge pan in it. Like we have the extend. This thing took 13 quarts of oil in it. It's dumb.
That's crazy.
So it's heavy. Obviously,
That's
it's
20
heavy.
pounds of fluid.
That's a lot of fluid. We were like, what, 13? No, you're wrong. Like we're putting 2 quarts
You
in
probably
it.
don't even need that because our gearboxes don't even get that hot with drift.
So this might, because of all the, especially my
especially
shifting.
the way you were driving it yesterday. I saw a video.
I was
of
driving
him.
like a sim.
Dude, yeah, he's just like rah, bah, 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 like
needed
10
to feel
shifts
it
the
out.
whole time, and I watched it every time it hit. Every
Yeah.
time it hit, I was like,
It
wow,
was-
that's incredible. So for you guys who don't know, the DCT is a dual clutch gearbox that works kind of like a sequential.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, it like switches clutches to be able to shift faster through it, correct?
Yes, and it preloads the next gear.
Right.
So it knows, like, if one of the biggest things with the controller is what he was teaching us yesterday is that if you take your foot off throttle, the computer already tells the transmission to have the next lower gear lined up.
Okay.
Same thing if you're flat foot shifting, it already has the next gear lined up, so when you punch it in, the gear's already there. So you don't have to necessarily like, oh, what gear, and have that dumb delay. So you know in your head, hey, I'm lifting, the transmission knows I'm gonna downshift, but if you do upshift, that's the only delay that you have because the transmission was already loaded to go lower. Now it's gonna give you like, and when I say delay, I'm talking about like
milliseconds.
like nothing.
Yeah.
Like you can feel it as a driver, but it's something that like most people will never even be able to tell.
Well, that and like you're gonna have the delay no matter what. It's
If
just
you have a
it's just
clutch.
not your delay. It's that's
Exactly.
delay now. So it's just like a little bit different. But yeah, okay. So what does that ECU take in? Like so TPS obviously,
Yeah.
RPM, right?
It takes in a lot of what the computer is.
Do you have wheel speed sensors or no?
I believe that it doesn't have wheel speed sensors, but you can definitely add them onto.
Because the transmission probably has input shaft speed and output shaft
Yeah.
speed. So
There's
probably use
so
that.
many electronics within inside of this
There's so many
transmission
things.
that when you open the side,
Oh yeah,
it seems
I've
like
seen it because they have to modify it, right?
they do.
And I've
That's a service that seems legit offers. Yeah.
got it. Yeah. So a buddy of mine did this swap in a GTR, and he set it up, and I was like, he posted photos of it open, and I was like,
Nope.
this is above my pay grade.
Yeah.
Like,
They actually have one open, like a 8 HP, which is the automatic one.
Yeah. Well, the
open
8
it on
HP is
top
in
of
everything.
the table. Everything.
Ram trucks, all the BMWs, like
Yeah.
ProMaster vans, like
And the 8 HP is super light.
is it?
Super. Compared to this, it's hundreds of pounds
So is it
lighter.
an 8 HP 70
Yes.
or okay?
Yeah.
So the strong one.
The strong.
So that is the
yeah.
same one that comes in like the truck, the Eco Diesel Ram or
Yeah,
whatever.
a
Got
lot
it.
of cars, it's cheap. It's about $1,500,
Yeah.
$1,000. This one though, like
But that's an actual automatic
Yeah.
transmission.
that is full auto.
This
but-
is still a clutched transmission.
exactly. The buckets though, if you look at it inside of it, still has clutches.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a lot of moving parts in there, but it still has a bucket, still has different clutches, but it's like beyond what anything like that we normally work with.
Do you use the rubber damper off the transmission, or do you have a solid one?
I don't know. I think we have a solid one over
Okay.
here.
I was
Yeah.
just curious because you have
Yeah.
one-piece drive shaft, probably.
No, For
Okay, so
your
you probably
sake,
do have a rubber damper.
I have a Guibo in this car with a stock OEM drive shaft.
Okay,
The reason
so
why I
we're good.
went with the
Oh wait, because you can use a stock one.
yes,
Duh.
stock
This
one.
comes in this car.
Exactly.
Got it.
That's
well,
why
not
I bought
this
this
car
one.
specifically, but
It comes with this transmission comes in 2 cars, E92 M3 and 335 IS DCT. So it does come in this car.
It does come in this car.
So that's why I got the drive shaft. You can get them for relative cheap.
Yeah.
A 335 DCT drive shaft with the auto that comes in both. The DCT comes with the auto diff and the actual like DCT specific car.
I didn't look, but obviously you have drive-by-wire with this setup.
Yes. Big flames. Wait till you guys see our video today.
Oh man.
This thing shoots.
Oh, you have video
6-foot
dropping
flames.
today.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll put it in the link in the comments.
Yeah.
So how does the clutch activation work on this? Like with a clutch
Well,
pedal?
that's what I was gonna look at too.
Yeah,
so now the
look
clutch
at
pedal
it.
thing.
Now I'll explain a little bit about that. So our setup here with the clutch, it has a potentiometer in it. So what we found out after the HET guys are still here. Go ahead. Feels super soft right now, and I'll explain why. It's like almost like nothing
I
is
don't
there.
mind that. That's fine.
Yeah. So what's on there right now is just a OEM 335 pedal.
Strong feel
Yeah.
there. I like that.
You like it, right? So it's a regular OEM 335 pedal with just a spring on it. It's just a regular coil spring. We went to the hardware store, obviously bought a bunch of springs and tried
I don't even mind that.
the hardest springs without breaking the pedal.
Oh right.
But now they taught us that the best thing for you to actually use on this is the gas pedal from a 350Z, because the gas pedal, they come with a torsion spring, which is a spring with preloaded pressure in it, and that feels amazing. It feels like a clutch pedal.
So my question is, obviously, so like it uses 0 to 100. So when you go to pull away, it just feels like a manual car.
You don't use the clutch to pull away.
Okay, because it slips. It just sits there.
It slips for its. It doesn't slip and it doesn't spin. He set it up in a computer in a way that it just hooks.
So it's like a SMG transmission from back in the day. Okay.
Exactly. Without the clunking.
So, but I can like slip the clutch
Yes.
to keep it in boost once we're rolling.
Yes, if you want to, but you don't need to, because you just upshift to the next gear if you want to. Or yes, you can clutch kick and it'll obviously
Yeah, I'm
get
just
through the
meaning
gears
so that I don't
faster.
have to downshift like in a spot. Like I could just keep it slipping.
Yeah, you
keep it on
can
the
slip
pipe.
it. And it's actually a gradual slip. The further in you press the clutch, it would be in the normal. Even though it's electronic, it's going to slip less. And obviously, the more you press into the clutch, it's actually going to disengage it.
Interesting.
That's wild.
I don't mind the soft clutch pedal.
Yeah. It doesn't feel weird like a sim.
No, I hate heavy clutches. Like,
I'm so used to like triple disc, heavy ass clutches.
I don't like that.
I feel like yesterday I wasn't like. I felt like I was in a sim instead of the car, and I'm not good at sims, so I was like, yo, this feels weird.
So I absolutely love the automatic pedal with the kick down.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing because you can do so much tuning with 100% TPS. Like in my S54, I have it so that it never goes over 70% throttle until I hit the kick down.
And then it's
100%.
Yeah.
So that way when I'm driving around, like doing demos or whatever, I can just use 270 of my 350 horsepower.
Yeah, and that's it.
And if I need it, I just click it, and then, ball, you hear the
Yeah.
throttles open up the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And it gives you a spot where you're like, I'll use all of it, and then when I need more, I got it. So, like, you could set this up to run, 500 horsepower, and then that last bit could be then 650.
Also, we're thinking of doing a boost by gear, which will keep the power that it's at now, probably like 1 to 4th gear,
yeah.
and then the last 3 gears we'll do like pretty much 7 speed. That's what I was telling you. I was trying to reach how many gears I could get to the end of the track, and I could only reach 6.
It's satisfying feeling too.
Very.
That's good. It feels good.
Feels good.
It's because it's not really doing anything.
No. It's literally just.
They made it just to feel good.
Just to feel good.
It's good. No.
This could be set up in any sim in the world.
It simulates like the click too, like of going into gear.
Yeah.
They should sell this for sim kids.
They probably do.
Oh, okay.
They probably
I was gonna
do.
say
That's
because
what
the
I'm saying.
feeling is really good.
Amazing.
Sick. Yeah, this is cool. So you got your gear shift indicator. So 7 gears. And what's the ratio of the rear end?
376.
And it's 3 gears of overdrive or 2?
I think 1 gear of overdrive.
Oh, so 6th is 1-to-1.
Yes.
Oh shit! So this gearing is awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
You'll never need another ratio.
Never.
They will work at any track.
Work at any
How
track.
much does this gearbox weigh?
The gearbox, I'll have to get you. I can't think of it right now. SLG did a video weighing all 3 transmissions, or all 4, like all the 8 HPs and stuff like that.
The 8 HP is the lightest.
The lightest.
And what was that? Like still
close to a
120
ZF.
pounds?
Close to a ZF. From
ZF
when I watched the
5-speed
video.
or 6
A
speed?
6-speed.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you could
I should
see
put one of these in my Fox body.
anything. We asked him yesterday what's the lowest horsepower he ever put this in, and it was in a BMW 2002, like from the 19, I guess 70s.
Yeah. Like
With
150 horsepower.
150, and he said the car felt like it had 300.
Well, my car's already set up
Yeah.
for ZF, dude.
Just put this in. Just put that. Once you drive this car, you're sold. I don't need to say anything. You drive it.
I do want to
getting
drive it. We'll have to figure
You're
it out.
getting it.
Let's talk about the car some more, though.
Yeah.
So, the cage work is nice too. I like the lower door bars. I know they're not as safe, but I do like them. It's so nice getting in and out of. The over 30 club likes the lower door bars. We're gonna die soon anyway. So.
We're done. We're done. It's my last final years.
So dual caliper. What? And this looks like M3 brakes, no?
Yeah, those are M3 brakes.
Okay.
I ended up getting sick.
The heaviest stuff. He puts the heaviest stuff on his cars.
Yo, $300 with brakes and rotors.
That's
Can't beat
pretty
that.
good.
Look
That's
at the
pretty
size
good.
of that brake in the front.
Yeah, but it's so heavy.
I know. Look.
If we put lightweight brakes on this, you could lose
know,
120 pounds.
Literally, with
It's
all
huge.
the rotors and brakes and everything on eBay was $500. You can't beat that.
Dude, and BMW still has single piston brakes. The caliper weighs 40 pounds for
all
one
good.
piston.
It's all good.
He's like, can confirm.
It wasn't about weight.
He's gonna blow a steering pump out just trying to steer it because of the brakes.
You're good.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Not really though. It's really heavy.
It is. It is.
Oh, I like this wing actually.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Duckbill
Well, that
style.
is the same one that Homeboy has.
Yes.
That exhaust is ridiculous.
Ridiculous as the flames it puts out.
I'm sure.
Oh, it's
We'll
not
take
bad. I
this
was looking
off.
down here.
Pop that.
Yeah. Is there another
Peel
one?
back, and then slide out. Watch out for the.
Get the DT connector. What's in there? Oh, for the taillights?
Yeah.
You guys are
Ball.
too much.
It's crisp, bro.
Dang, dude.
Mr.
Full steel trunk, dude.
Yeah, baby.
Look, dude. Oh, hold on. We gotta go back. My back hurts, dude. This is cool. What are these, smoke evacuators?
Yes.
That's good. We used to have these on the Bergenholtz RX-8. Such a huge difference.
Huge.
Also, it keeps the cab cooler somehow. You wouldn't know because you don't have a windshield,
Yeah.
but once you put a windshield in, it helps
gonna
keep
make a
air
difference, yeah.
flowing through the car.
It made a huge difference. Funk Motorsports always hooking us up, made this special sleeve for
Oh,
this,
sick.
just to make sure it like kept the heat.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you're touching the trunk and the whole thing is like a fireball. So
This dude.
those are the air jacks.
Oh, okay.
Did you see them set up in the car?
More weight.
Yes. We add weight. So it's not about who can save the weight, it's who can add the weight. And we like to add weight.
Oh,
But
Air
this is
jacks.
not a competition car, so
It's
it's
not.
fine. It doesn't matter. I'm just hating
Those
because it's funny.
air jacks,
Dang.
nuke baller as hell.
Yeah.
You just hook up in the back. Like now we're gonna use the nitrogen tanks, like the lid.
just
No,
gotta
the
put a
actually the
tank in it,
CO2.
dude.
I did that on the
You got enough
on Blue
weight
Thunder.
already.
It's
The tank don't
no.
weigh nothing.
But with one refill, you can lift and lower this car like 12 times.
Yeah, it's good.
With a little CO2 tank. So we tested it out before.
Good fire system.
Good lifeline, fire
Yeah.
suppression.
Yeah, this cage is nice. Sweet. Fits good. At least they did the right size tubing, 1.5/095.
At least
That
that
car
that
has-
was Marco. I can't take credit for that. It was
car
probably
has 1
him.
3/4, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, no, she's
Woof,
heavy.
Dude.
Like you said, we'd have to take that entire car apart to
No,
redo
yeah,
it
it's
again.
not worth
It's
it.
not worth it.
That's why I built the orange car.
Look,
Yeah, sweet dash, HEK dash.
HEK dash.
Yeah.
I save weight.
That's good.
Look.
Then he put the suedes on it, dude.
Yeah,
Ish
just
would be
tiny
so
bit.
pumped right now, dude.
Yeah.
With the suedes.
helps with the glare.
There's a
People
Pick
don't
My
understand.
Ride comment
Yeah.
there if you didn't pick that up. Yeah, it's cool. This car is so nice. You guys do build some really nice cars. I hate
Thank
on the
you.
weight thing, but like I
Thank
said,
you,
it's a
thank
balance
you.
of the two.
Yeah.
This car still probably only weighs like 3,300.
Yeah, we're gonna weigh it next week, so it's not too bad. It's still like once you drive it, all the weight will like erase off your mind because
Yeah,
you'll be
yeah.
like,
Well, 'cause, like,
screw
you're
the
just
weight,
gonna
screw
melt
this,
tires off.
screw everything.
That's
That's all that matters.
Shift.
What are we doing anyways? Look at it. We can't compete against them. They
I'm
just
surprised you don't put like a 508 rear gear in it so you could be in 7th gear at every
yeah,
track.
all the
Just like
time.
down the straight, it's like bang, 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 bang,
That's
bang,
it.
bang every gear.
That's it.
So,
So-
what's in the rear? So you said the
Wise
188.
fab in the rear.
Okay.
Nothing outside of that. It's stock everything else. Stock
Oh, you didn't even do the
335.
traction brackets.
Yeah.
Or did you do them?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Nice. That was the biggest thing. These cars just need a little bit of anti-squat in them
Yeah.
in there, but for what you're doing, again. Yeah, I'd like to see the weight balance of this on a scale. And now that you have the DCT stuff figured out, maybe I'll have to put one of those in my
Yeah,
box.
a lot of people like in the invitational, like the car was obviously parked there, and everyone's like, "We gotta see it work. We
Yeah.
talking a big game, but we gotta." I already sent Jimmy a message
There's no
yesterday,
reason
like, "Yo,
why it shouldn't work, though.
Yeah.
It's just the computer aspect of it that
Exactly.
has to be maximized. And I think there's been enough time now that people have figured it out.
That's what he said. He said like, come in here. If he was coming here like 5 years ago, it would have been a different story. Like
Right.
there was a lot of kinks to work. There's a lot of people that still, oh, it doesn't work because it misshifted my car, or it put the car in reverse, or
Yeah,
it
but you
did
can
this.
have a
but
Hollander
it's-
and they do the
yeah.
same thing. You spend $30,000 on a Hollander and it's like the same problem.
It's like what Adam says, a lot of D.
Yeah.
There's a lot of D. There's a lot in development
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
to this
yeah.
point. You know, it's like we understand the companies and the guys are extremely intelligent. Adam and Bartek both like have been working like insane amount of hours on these cars to make sure they're ripping. And Adam, you saw what he's doing.
No.
That's a whole nother game because he's taking a car that's stock from factory with a
Oh, with the
8HP
Supra.
and converting it into a drift car without doing
Changing
anything else but modifying the gearbox.
Yeah.
Put in a hydro in, put in maybe dual calipers in the back, and now you just saved yourself a ton of time and you got a strong car.
Right.
So his car is like they're in the process because
I-
not
Supra
only they
has an
have
8 HP in it? I didn't even
Yeah.
know that.
not only do they have to control the trans, but they're also controlling the computer on the
Oh
car.
yeah, you have to.
So that's two different aspects. This to them,
they're just
it's
cutting
butter.
throttle body and that's it.
Here they're just like boom, like
Yeah.
works. They spent, let's say, a quarter of the time on this car and the entire week on that car trying to figure it out.
Got it.
Because the car keeps throwing codes and doing all kinds of crazy BMW things.
Yeah,
you know how it
BMW
is.
things. So the gearboxes are like $1,500,
Yeah.
and then what's the kit cost? to do?
Controller, you're gonna run all together. I would say $6,000
Okay.
to have something like this.
I mean,
With the
that's
controller,
cheapest
rewiring,
sequential by far.
cheapest.
Also, if you do somehow break it, once you already are invested in it, it's cheaper to buy a whole nother gearbox than,
Oh,
than
absolutely.
rebuild a sequential.
The guy, the owner of HTG, he's been driving with the same setup in his IS300 for 3 years. Never changed the clutches, never done anything.
well, that's because it does all the clutch work for you.
We asked him yesterday, like, we were like, yo, how many times you have changed the oil on this? He's like, never. I put it once and, like, that was it.
Well, there's 13 quarts, so that
Yeah.
helps.
So he's pretty, like, on the safe side of things of saying, like, this is going to be the new thing, you know. They have a Drift Masters car that competes with 900 horsepower with this setup. And, like, he podiums a lot of the times.
And so what ECU triggers does it need to send out from, like, this is ECU Masters, you said?
ECU Masters, yeah.
So, like, how does it just take the TPS and the CAN bus stuff right out of it and go right into the module?
Right out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. It can work with any ECU. He can make that thing work with, like, anything pretty much.
Dude, I might put one of these in the Fox body. The weight is my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Because that car is competitive.
And
because
he
of
can
its
even
weight.
give you paddles. If you don't want the thing, you can be cool
That would be
on the
cool.
wheel,
Like
shifting.
a ring for upshift,
Yeah.
downshift. Dang.
Yeah. SLG
Vaughn
sells
needs
those
one of
too.
those so he can keep both hands on the freaking wheel.
Before he came to us, he stopped in Miami and they actually tuned the S14 with the DCT on like for a few days, and the thing straight rips.
Nice.
Like with the paddles in the car and stuff like
That's
that.
cool.
So it's a cool car, cool concept, and we think like it's gonna be the new thing. People get tired of the same thing, same dog box, same this, and like we gotta keep innovating, you know.
Yeah.
I do say though that I love the stock car drifting, like how I was drifting my car last week, like stock E36 or stock F80 or stock whatever it is,
Simple.
because you know it's gonna work. But when you get to these, like it's still fun,
Yeah.
and you can push the limit with these things.
For sure. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it does, like on-off throttle, working the clutch and doing shit. I'll probably take a few laps to see how the car itself just drifts, because this is the first like built E90 I've driven with like all the new stuff too. So take it easy for the first few.
Jeez.
Right. What do you think?
That flame was huge.
It's pretty sick.
Huh?
It's pretty sick.
Sick, right?
There is definitely a delay, but like you get used to it.
Oh yeah. Remember on the downshift, hold the brake in, actually accelerate while you downshift. This is different. That's where like it wants you to do. So you can hold the left foot brake and put it in the next gear, and it'll just eat.
The downshift.
To downshift or upshift, you can actually hold it and downshift.
Yeah, because the clutch has a delay too.
The second you push in the clutch, you just mess the whole system up.
Right, but you have to clutch the hand.
Only to handbrake. But let's say you're going around the corner and you want to downshift and put the next gear to keep it eating, like keep it like the rotation mass going. Just hold the brake. Forget the clutch.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I
Now-
feel like that's such a decel that I want the wheels to stop though.
You want to, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see if you go slow around the corner, you can hold the foot brake, left foot brake,
And then
just
shift.
like shift.
Okay.
Up
That's
or
what
down.
I'm doing going into that turn, because
Oh,
I'm going
huge flames in the back.
4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
and then 3, 4. Yeah, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
and then I'm just like ripping.
Ripping.
It is cool. The engagement is smooth and it keeps it on power. My first thought was going to be hard on the diff, but it's really smooth on it.
See, because you don't actually like disengage the clutch and engage it.
Right, it just
It's like
slips it.
you're like blending the clutches all together. And also for the takeoff, I saw that on the last one, they had like nice takeoff. It's like balancing the slip on the clutches and on the
Yeah.
wheels, so like have a nice takeoff. Not like you know.
That's what I was trying
slowly.
to do.
Yeah. You just like on the throttle. Here you go.
Right, but then you got to roll out of it to keep the grip.
Yeah, because it has the power, right?
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
starts.
Sick. We'll do another lap, try it out.
And it doesn't feel like 400 horsepower. That
feels like 500 probably, yeah. Well, it's because it's always in the power.
got above like 200 ever. It was like in 80 Celsius to like 95, 96.
Yeah, if it's below 100 C, you're good no matter what. It's good. It's different, but it's not like I've tried to mess it up and tried to get it to do something and it didn't. It always did what I told it to do. The downshift, but it needs a throttle blip or something.
That's the only issue with the ECU that is here. ECU master only allows that amount of a blip, where we need like this amount.
Need a lot more. I even was like trying to do it myself. It's mainly because if you do the downshift off throttle, you feel like
Yeah, but ECU master only allows 250 milliseconds of blip. Okay. Like half a second.
yeah,
So
you need
it's,
more than that.
that's a software limitation for some reason, but yeah, we can.
Well, it's also got to target the RPM
Hey.
probably a little bit.
It's EMU again.
So the DCT stuff is actually pretty cool. A little delay on the upshift, but it's all adjustable, and I'm sure they're going to work through all that. Rowing through the gears, I feel like was cool. The shifting and the actual on throttle upshift, like how an auto would be, but like signified by the shifter, it's solid. Like it's smooth, it's easy on the drivetrain, which was one of my first deals. The clutch is a little bit tricky. It's soft, but I don't mind a soft clutch. It's just like a little bit, again, with the power delay of how it applies the clutch, because it's electronically doing that. So for me, I would just want that ramped up a ton for the forward or the upshift clutch. But it works well. The motor and turbo setup on this, the power band is really, really good. It's probably one of the best JZs I've driven, like in terms of response. And the way the gearbox works, how close the gears are stacked together, I think you would never need to do a quick change with one of these. So in the long run, it could really save you quite a bit of money. But I don't know. Overall, it's really good. I still think the E90 lacks a little forward bite, but there's obviously some adjustments you can do for the chassis end of it. But I was doing a lot of new stuff and no windshield, which is weird. But yeah, this is definitely not the place to try out a whole bunch of new stuff, but we made it work. So later.